the testing and project lifecycle, where it comes the testing concepts here. So any organization, for example, a testing project, if any cycle, so as per the client requirements, if you are not delivering, the client has given a list of requirements and we have to deliver, we have to customize our SalesForce software as per the client requirement. If not, we have to work other test scripts and identify each requirement is satisfied or not. Client has given 1000 requirements. That 1000 requirements, I need to check step by step how it has been delivered to the client expected results. I have to show this. The testing phase will do like this. The development phase, we customize that, we'll do it. But at the same time, testing phase, what you have to do, I have to check it as per the requirements, is it executed or not. The phase, the fields has to be modified. If I insert some records, the records has inserted, delivered or not. Expected result and current result must be same. What is the current result? What you are expecting. If both are same, then as per the client requirement is just done. Expected result and the current result are same, then it is a requirement is closed. Then the task moves to production. So if you want to go to the production, all the requirements should be placed. What are the requirements are there? The development phase will have SalesForce customization in Salesforce. This is called the development phase. It's a name. We can call it a name. Development means don't think as a Salesforce development. Actually, in the project we call it the development phase. And the testing phase, we write test scripts for the client requirements. Where the client has given requirement, that requirements will compare and will give as a testing phase here. Otherwise, you call it an implementation phase. It's an implementation phase, where developers will work with the SalesForce customization and Visualforce elements. Now, requirements is what? What type of requirements? If I give some input, account, I am inserting some record. This was yesterday batch process. I insert a new record. When I give a new record, phone number I given, I given. So I click save. I given the value Kumar Swami, the phone number, but it's saying as Kumar Swami. But my requirement is I should store with SFDC Kumar Swami. The client has given a requirement, whatever input I given, it should say with SFDC. That who will do in the implementation phase. We have phases, implementation, testing phase. Implementation phase, the triggers, who write? The developers. Developers writes the triggers, converting that requirement in the trigger. The testing phase will test it, how it has done executed. As an implementation phase, as a developer, we will write a triggers. As a testing, as a tester, they will write a test script. And we have to combine both. We have to compare both. What is in the implementation phase, how the developer has done. So developer will write a requirement as a trigger, has written a requirement like file, new Apex trigger. So requirement is like just trigger on account object. Before when how to take the record, recently inserted record, take the record, I insert a new record. So this value has to be converted. This is name is equal to IC dot billing city. No? As a developer in the implementation phase, he has written a ticket. Then save it. So go to account table, insert some record, then enter the phone as well, then city empty. So when you click save, so more data is storing here. More records are stored. As per our ID, in the trial version ID, they are given limited memory. Go for data management, data storage. Now storage. 5 MB they are given, but you are storing 5.5 MB records. More records are storing in account table, 2000 records are there. For that only we are unable to save the record. For that we have to delete some records. Go for setup, storage usage, we'll see data storage 5 MB, in which account table has how many records we can store. So I need to delete some few records. Here in the mask delete records, search, delete some few records. Earlier storage usage was 5 MB, 2002 records were there. As deleted and now refresh. As we delete some records, storage is less than 5. Now I can insert the record. Not accounts table. And if more memory is not there, sufficient. By default trial version you have only 5 MB records, you can store it. Insert data management, data storage usage. If you want delete, go for mask delete. In the data management, mask delete. Checking data storage. Setup, admin, data management, data storage. Here you have storage usage. So here same to delete the records. Mask delete records. checking the storage unit. Now I deleted the records. Now insert the record. Again phone. Save. Record SFDC Sivakumar has been saved, and the address also changed. So that means as per the client requirement, you have written a trigger. So as per the implementation phase, he has written a trigger, it is working. Trigger is written, as a developer requirement you have done. But as a tester we need to test it. It's working on. So we need to write a test script. For every requirement we will write a test script. So I will write a test script. To write a test script file, a new Apex class. Test class 1, TCL1. I am writing a test script for the client requirement. So to write the test class, is a test, right, is a test, is annotation. It's a predefined functionality. This annotation is a predefined functionality. So whatever at the time of testing phase, when you insert the records, it rollbacks automatically. When you insert the record, it rollbacks the records. Now in this test class, we have the method. So always statements are specified where in the method. Public static. Alright, the test method, predefined method, predefined functionality keyword, test method, M1. There will be only one test method keyword. While thinking as a concept, whenever a method don't have return type, it thinks as constructor. If a method is not having a return type, a void or anything, so it thinks as a constructor. Constructors cannot be a static. It thinking this M1 is thinking as a constructor. So TCL is a class, test method. M1 is a method and TCL1 class where you write test scripts. This logic would write testers. The testers also should require a basic Apex class program. They require some basic system oriented language. Here, what language you should have a knowledge on Apex programming. How to write a class, how to call a method, and what is this requirement? When I insert a record, as per expected result, it should getting or not, I need to check it. So he has to insert the record. How to insert the record? So insert account is equal to new account. See that name is equal to Raj. See that. Okay. And even insert. The tester has inserted a record. When you say insert, what happens? It internally calls which one? Trigger. Trigger is converting the Raju to SFDC Raju. Tester does not know how it is converting. How you have implemented a tester. I have a trigger, I have written a trigger as a developer, and you have written a tester, a testing script you have written. How that logic has been implemented, tester does not know. Just he'll insert the record. Once you insert a record, whether expected result is getting or not, I need to check it. Once I insert a record, AC Raj record, check that record, I need to retrieve that record, that is, select ID name from account where ID equal to which ID recently inserted AC.id. That ID you retrieve that record and return account A. I inserted AC record. That record has been converted into Raju with SFDC Raju. That is existing where see AC.id related record ID. I am referring with the name what? A. Now compare that result. System dot asset equals. What is our expected? What is our actual value? What is our expected? System dot asset equals. What is our expected? SFDC Raju. So write expected Raju. Expected is what? Semi quotation. Yes, where is my actual value? A dot name. Now returns false. Now returns true or false. System dot asset equals returns what? True or false. I given Raju. Raju is converted with what? SFDC Raju. That is expected. My expected. As a client requirement is client expecting is what? This much. But actual value where it is existing. Both are same. The whatever implementation has been done, it's correct. This is a test script. This is a test script for checking whether I given the name which is converting with SFD. That's a requirement. So how it is converting, we are not bothered. As a tester, we don't think that how we has implemented. As a developer, we'll write a triggers, we'll write some workflows, logic has been implemented. How it has implemented, we won't think it. So now check it. There is a test script. Now I need to run the test script. You have written test script, you have to run it. So go to test class, run. TCL1, select this, run it. I am running this test class. Now running means what? I am inserting a record, but does it insert in the database this Raju record? Check it in account table. Is there any Raju record here? There is no Raju record. Okay, I am inserting a Raju record. When you go for Raju record, it files the trigger, converts whatever name it is done. I am checking both are same or not. Once control comes from the test method, whatever record Raju record is inserted, that rollbacks automatically. There is a functionality of @is_test. @is_test is a predefined functionality. It rollbacks whatever you have inserted. Since while testing you should not insert into database, it should insert at the same time it should rollbacks. It's only for testing purpose you are inserting the records. Now TC1 run. Now I need to check whether test has been passed or failed. So here tests are there. Go to test start and your test has been passed. Okay, plus keep this M1 method. Test result is false. If for example I go in SFD, so my trigger has been converted with, so this is page something. The developer has written some different value. Client expected is SFDC Raju. Client is expecting like this. So what is A.name now? SFDC space Raju. Oh, result becomes what? Failed. Getting the point here? I given Raju value. When I insert, the trigger is converting SFDC space. But client is expecting what? SFDC Raju. Client is expecting this value. What you have done? This A.name. But now what happened? Both asset equals returns for true or false? False. It fails. Now it fails. Now check it. Test. Run. Test run. Run it. Since a test has been failed. So next one. Asset equals failed. Then double click on this. Expected is SFDC Raju, but actually is happening SFDC space Raju. Gives an message like this. You have to show that to the client. So for your requirement, its implementation people has done like this. You are expecting is SFDC Raju, but result is giving like this. Then we'll give information to the developer. So as per requirement, it is not done. Then he'll check it again. Again we'll run it and we'll close it. So we used to run this testing from here also, from the admin phase also. Earlier we used to run the testing from here. Go to setup menu. Run the testing from here, develop Apache classes. Usually we used to run test classes from here also. Run all tests like this as well. We'll select whichever class you are written. A class which is @EasyTest is written now. Select TCL class. Select the test. TCL1 class. Run it. Result. This equals, it asset equals being failed. If I given a result, my trigger has given, the trigger has been correctly written. So this is space. Remove that. Save it. Developer has written correct trigger. Now we need to run. You can run this from developer console. Testing can be tested from test menu. Or from admin also from I can run here. Go to Apache test execution. Select text. Select text. Run. Now execution is now passed. Test method passed. Click view. If not, it failed like that you write. See how you are written triggers means this one type of trigger. A file new, it's an Apache class. It's in a class, a test class, where for single record it's converting or not, I am checking. Similarly, if multiple records are inserted, whether it's working or not, I need to check it. If multiple records are given, I inserted multiple records. I inserted multiple records. In this, all multiple records are converting with SFDC Kishore or not. Again, some 30 records. LA.add IC. So all 30 records I am storing into insert LA. So insert LA means it inserts 30 records at a time. Now all 30 records are converting or not, I need to check it. Is it? So correspondingly when you click execute, 30 records are inserted. But there must be correspondingly what? Trigger also. Which type of trigger? A trigger which takes multiple records. Earlier it was taking which one? It inserts all the records. But this, it accepts only for single trigger. Single record only. In single record, a trigger now it's an active which works for only for one record. record.new of 0. Now check it in account table also. All Kishore records are inserted, but it converted only first record only. But client has given it, if multiple records are inserted, it should affect all. All records should convert with SFTs. So I need to write a trigger which should affect for all the records. Now we use to write trigger, file in new Apex, yeah. Just take multiple for multiple records, submit. This is an active one, deactivate it. Save. Now I'll try how to take multiple records. Record dot. Which type? This type. Multiple records I am taking. Take all the multiple records I need to take. I need to convert them. That is, we are done in for multiple records. When I insert record, these are records I am inserting. Kishore records are taken. All 30 records are taken. Record.new take 30 records. Each record I am converting. I need to check all the records are converted or not. I need to write a test script. I need to write a test script whether when you insert multiple records, all are converted or not. I need to check it. So I need to write a test script. File new Apex class. How to write a test class? Test class 2. So to write a testing, so if you write @test. It's an anonymous code which has a predefined functionality. So whatever I do in the testing class, it should be rolled back automatically. That's a predefined functionality. And it should have compulsory one method, a test method. There should be one method. It can be a private test method. And the method should be a return type void. And it should have a public static void main. Okay, public static void. Any method. Method name can be any method name, but should be a test method. And a static, since you are running through class name. While defined method as a static, you can call that methods using class name. The OOPS concept we discussed now, static methods can be called using class name. Here our test methods are called static methods, since while executing it calls tcl2.m1. Internally it calls tcl2.m1. So for that we define that method as a static methods. Now as a tester, he should insert the records. He is inserting records, multiple records. Like earlier I have written test class where he is inserting single record and it's checking. But now I need to write a test script where I have to insert multiple records. How to insert multiple records in list? Taking multiple records. I am inserting the records. A.name equal to name. Now on that record I am adding to la.add of A. Then I will say insert. I am inserting 10 records. Now that's account LA, I equal to 1, I less than 10. 10 records I am taking, A dot insert it, LA dot add of A. All records, 10 records are storing in the where? All 10 records are in LA. Now when you insert LA, 10 records are inserted and it firing which trigger? Trigger dot new. So 10 records are taken, 10 records are converted. So whether it's converted or not, I need to check it. As a tester, I need to check it. When you say insert LA, 10 records are going to the account table. Before going to account table, a trigger will fire converts. Trigger will convert also. Trigger converts all my records. Now here, I need to check whether records are inserted or not, whether records are converted or not. So first I need to retrieve the records. How to retrieve records? Select from account. From account, which records? In the collections concept, I said one query. A list of records I want to retrieve. A list of records I want to retrieve in the account table. Which type of records? The collections I said. I want account table has hundreds of records of them. Account table has hundreds of records, but I want a list of records, LA related records I want. LA has 10 records. Recently 10 records are there. That records I want. When you say insert LA, what happens? 10 records are converted with SFDC. That records I want. How will take that records? In select query I given. Here I have written a trigger where ID equal to AC dot ID. Recently inserted one record. Recently I inserted one record. That record I am retrieving where ID equal to AC dot ID. Where ID equal to AC. That record only I am retrieving. We will go for in operator. We should use in operator. Account table has thousands of records. But which records are required? Records which are recently inserted. So at the time where will go? From account where name in colon L. I stored in a group of strings and I am checking and where name in ls like that we have seen. We have seen in a collections concept. Seeing here also, account table has thousands of records, but which records I require? Records which are recently inserted, where name in, where my account name is in LA structure, that records I want to retrieve. That is list of. Now this LS is a list of records which are converted such as to SFDC sum. I need to check it. I need to check it whether it's equal or not. So take for count LS. A list of records which are converted. Now this LA is what? List of Rajari. That records are converted with SFDC. Now select ID name from account where name in LA. So I will retrieve records which are converted. That is in LS. Now I need to compare that each record whether it's converted or not. So how I will check it? System dot assert equals. What is our expected SFDC? My SFDC. My fingers you will given some Raju related record. Expected is SFD cost. Actual value where it is existing? Data. account where type of account, column of type string. You can put a name ID. So this says I'm inserting 10 records. 10 records with Raju related with ID is generated. Now, this records converted as when you say insert LA, the trigger will fire. The trigger is converting in the SFDC Raju. Fine. Now I want that 10 records only. I want 10 records which converted with SFDC Raju. I want that 10 records means where ID in LA. LA has some IDs are there. That IDs related records only I want to retrieve from account. Account has 1000 records. But which records I need to check it? Which records I need to check it? Which are recently converted. How we can know which are recently converted? I'm saying where ID in LA. LA has 10 records. That 10 records where ID in LA stored in LS. Out of 1000 records, I'm retrieving only 10 records which are recently converted. Take that record system.assert equal, check it. In LS 10 records are there, first record which is converted or not, check it. Now how to test means, go to test, new run, result2, let's run. Go for test. Let's paste TCL class, and that's an M1 method. That means all records are converted. At any time it is not converted. For example, your written trigger is failing. It is failing. If it's failing, instead of that, instead of for loop, you are written single record only converted. Single record only converted. When you say trigger.new, for single record. So how it will do single record? Yes. A equal to trigger.new. Only for single record I converted, but remaining records are not converted. So now as a testing phase, so I have written a trigger where only one record is converted. Okay. As a testing phase, what? I am inserting 10 records. When you say insert LA, it inserts 10 records, but which record is being converting? How many records are converting? How many records are converting? I have written a trigger where only one record is converted. Okay. Now account where ID in LA. So LA related 10 records are there now. LA has a 10 records in which one record is only converted. Remaining 9 records are not. Converted. So all 10 records which are updated in our date, which are updated in account table, that I am retrieving and I am storing in LS. Now LS has a 10 records. As per the trigger, only first record is converted. Remaining 9 records are not converted. Now check it. So account A colon LS. So LS has 10 records. First record is converted. So first record is pass. Next record. Next record. What is A.name contains? What is second record contains? Raju only. which is not converted. No, second record is not converted since I have written a trigger only for first record. So when I say LS means all 10 records will get, in which only first record is converted, remaining records are not converted. Now it becomes test fail. Now test fail. Now check it. Earlier I have written a trigger for all the records, so it is passed. Now the same, but I am written a trigger with only first record has been converted. Next, new run. Simple. Run. We got text. It's okay. Expected result is actual is Raj. Actual say dot name is now Raj only, no? I have given LA, Raju related records. When you say insert LA, my trigger is converting only one record. Since I written trigger dot new, that only single record is converted. That means a developer has said that for multiple records I converted, I have written logic like that, he said it. As a trigger, it's converting only one record, fine. And he developer informed to tester, so my task has been completed. So tester has to write his class. Tester information is insert 10 records, check 10 records are converted or not. So I inserted 10 records, then where ID in LA, check the LA related records, where ID in LA. So whatever records which are converted, that records I am taking. Now LS has a 10 records in which first record is only converted, remaining 9 records are not converted. So take LS as first record goes to A, the first record is converted, but second record is not. Second record is as it is A dot name contains what? Raj only. For that it is test script failed. Like that write the test scripts. If thousands of requirements are there, if 100 requirements are there, 100 test scripts will write it. You write a test scripts like this, all number of test scripts. What is your requirement, whether it's insertion or updation or deletion. Whatever requirement is there, you just delete that's all. Whether it's affecting, whether it's updating. It's a single record. See, first test script is single record I inserted, whether it's working or not. The second record, second test script, what I'm inserting multiple records, check it whether it's working or not. Like that will take. We'll write number of test scripts will write like this. Remove this one. I'm inserting. I'm inserting multiple records. And multiple records has been converted. At that time, when you run, check it, test script. Well, M1 method is all records are converted. Since in my trigger I have written for all. Like that you write. This is called a testing where you write multiple test scripts as per the requirement. Similarly, I want to see that when you want move all my Apex classes to production, the code coverage must be a minimum 90% must be there. A 70 to 90% code coverage must be there. What does mean the code coverage? Code coverage means, for example, when you call any class, I am running this test class. I'll write the code coverage. So I am calling a program VFSOPL, V equal to VFSOPL. See here the VFSOPL program. Is a VFSO program. Any program, any VF program. VF paging is there. Okay. I want to call a VF paging program. It's a nice, right? Apex class. So you use to create object for whom? Classes or Visual Force pages? For classes only, no? We won't create objects for Visual Force pages. That's an AP paging. I'm calling an Apex class. When you run this program, see the code coverage, how it works. I'm calling a class. That means code coverage means how many lines of code you are executing. How many lines of code you are executing is nothing but the code coverage. When you run this one test, new run TCL2. Let's say the code coverage for which class? AP paging class. %25% is there. See? That means I am calling a Apex class. In that Apex class, how many lines of code are executed? 25 lines code are executed. That's called 25% code. When you say insert LA, which trigger has been fired? Second trigger is fired. See that second trigger, the code coverage. What is trigger? Test trigger. Test trigger multiple. It is 100% code. When you double click on this test trigger multiple, all the lines are executed. So blue color means all the lines. When you say in my TCL2 AP paging, it's insert LA. Insert LA means correspondingly it is calling a trigger. When it's calling a trigger, the trigger is called in the trigger how many lines are executed. You have written 100 lines means 100 lines are executed, that is 100% code coverage. So I have written 3 lines. How many lines I have written? 3 lines. So 3 lines are executed successfully. So the code coverage is what? 100%. That is, there is no wastage of code. There is no wastage of code. That's the point. There is no wastage of code. And similarly, in my Apex class, I am calling AP paging class. I am calling AP paging class. What is the code coverage for AP paging? AP page. It is 25%. That means out of AP paging program complex Apex class, only 25% lines code are executed. Double click on this. Just start a code. This red color are not executed. Since I am not calling that method, so code coverage is only 25%. Any class, if you write any class and you call that method class, for example, I have written a test class, I have written file new a test AP. That's in a AP class. Object string here equal to now return. Okay. Now write in public void m1. This code are executed. I written m1 method. In the m1 method, a piece of code I have written. I am inserting some record. It's an m1 method I have written this. Which class this is? A class what? Test AP. A test AP class with public string good morning something you have written and public void m1 I have written. Okay. So I am working with code coverage. How will I identify the code coverage? When I run any program, AP paging class, it's calling AP paging class. How many lines are executing? Only 25% code. That means when you write any, you have written some 100 programs you have written. That means all the program must be successfully executed. You have written 100 programs in a project. While executing, while going to the production phase, that all program must be executed successfully. All the lines has to be executed at any time. Similarly here, a test AP are written. Test AP A equal to new test AP. Now save. Test AP A equal to new test AP. Now how many lines will execute for test APAA? What is the code coverage for this? When you calling new test AP, it calls only this line. Only it calls this line. If you write for example any constructor I have written, test AP, some piece of code I have written. I have written a class. I am calling that class. So now when you create an object for test AP, so it calls what? It calls a data member, then it calls what? Constructor. Are you calling M1 method? No, it's not calling M1. Now see the code coverage for the test CL2. You run test, you run CL2, select this class, run. Go for test and see the code coverage. When I run this TCL2, when you say insert LA, a trigger is firing, a trigger is executing with 100% code. 100% code. When you go for AP paging, that's an AP paging class. Next, test AP. Test AP is working with code coverage what? 30%. So I am using that class with only 30% code coverage. When you click that class, it gives only 30%. Since data member is executed. And test CL2. When you say new test AP, it's what it is. What is new test AP means? What it is in a constructor. It calls a constructor. It's only constructor I am calling. I am not calling M1 method. As I am not calling M1 method, the code coverage became 30. So that means at any situation, the method should be executed successfully. You have to execute the method compulsory. All the methods should be executed at any scenario. If methods are not executed at any scenario, the code coverage decreases. That means it is a wastage of code. I need to remove that waste code. So for that, what you like, if you want that M1 method should call, when you write M1 method, I am calling M1 method in a constructor. I am calling M1 method in a constructor. Now when you run by my class, you run TCL2. My code coverage now TCL. In my test AP, now what happens? %. Since I am calling a class test AP class. I am calling a class test AP class, which is 100% code coverage now. Since it called test AP class, when you run this 100% on this, double click on that, so all the columns are in blue color. Since all the lines are executed like that, a project may contain hundreds of programs, and all the programs must be executed at any one of the scenarios. At any one scenario, all your programs must be executed. Then only I can go to the production phase, otherwise should not place it. So in the testing people what they limit, they like a test script like this, as per single record it is executed, as a multiple records it's working or not. And we'll check it what is the code coverage for all the classes, whatever you have written, all the programs. So when you say in the lifecycle management also, as when you go for lifecycle management, so that project lifecycle how it looks, we'll write the design phase. Who will be working in the design phase? Delivery managers or the trial bit. In the trial versions will work. The trial version delivery manager works. What is the client requirement? We'll analyze the technology, which Force Cloud or Microsoft Cloud, Amazon Cloud. We analyze which type of technology have to use in the projects. So when any project starts, if for example a project starts from January, first 3 months we'll identify what is the client requirement, in which cloud we have to implement it. And we'll prepare the functional specs. Delivery manager prepare the functional specs, which details the client requirements. As per the client requirements, we delivered as a descriptive manner with you. The functional specs contains a detailed description information. What is the client requirements? Detailed information will ask. As per the requirements it is done or not. And once as what you understood, client requirements, and will submit to the client, you understood this requirement or not. If you understood that requirement, then we will identify how many objects required for object. If 12 objects are there, object means a tasks. Then we will identify each task, admin how many, development and integration layer. So admin standard, if standard objects, account lead cases, like this number of standard objects you have to customize. In your project, there are only 3 standard objects are there which has to be customized. So there are 3 objects in admin part. Next, custom objects how many? In development, how many new requirements has to be done? Like command links, paging program. Each task takes 1 week or it may be 5 days like that. We have to prepare this. So we'll identify. That means delivery manager TL will identify how many objects has to be identified in a project. So in the 12 objects, admin, development, integration related 12 objects are there. Once it identified how many days it takes, who has to work, whether it requires SC or SSC or training, that all will be analysis is been done by the manager or TL. Then a TL will create our technical specs. The detailed technical specs in each object what has to be prepared, how many parameters has to pass, how many methods are there in each program, that all will define. You won't write any code. Go for command lines or paging program, any development related task, will design what is the requirement. You have to implement, as a developer you have to implement them. So you will design the task. So this is a requirement. Once you pass the parameter, I should get this value. That all depend in where technical specs. Who will prepare technical specs? Lead will prepare technical specs. Once technical specs are received, we will go for implementation phase. We have a TL, we SSC and SC. These people will start working on this. You won't work in the design phase. When you are below 5 years experience, when you are below 5 years, you won't work in the function specs and technical specs. Function specs as per the client requirements, we prepare it. What you understood, that's a client requirement. When you are in below 5 years, you work in the implementation phase. As per the client technical specs, we will work it. Once an object is given to you, you have to deliver within 3 weeks. Once I given one object, you are given either admin or a development or any type. I given a program or given a task. We will identify whether it's in a complex task or medium like this. If it is complex, 3 weeks. Medium, within 1 week you have to deliver. A new changes which is not there in SalesForce, will identify which type of task it is. While TS has been given to you, you understand the technical requirements with our client and with our TL. You sit with our TL, with the client, what you understood the requirements, you can make a requirements all gathering. What you understood, that is the first day is very important. Once the object is given to you, it's very important that day. You'll have a discussion with your client. At that time, whatever doubts are there, maximum you clear with them. Any silly doubt also, any silly doubt you can ask with the client at that time. After end of the day, after 3 weeks I've done, I didn't understand that point means that will not suit. Once a project in that particular task means particular object is given to you, you have to work on that. 3 weeks you will be working or 1 month you will be working. And they'll give the technical specs, what is the requirements, what you have to do. As per the TS, you will work on that. Like that admin related, development related task, TL has prepared all technical specs. And where you will have 2 months and 1 month for testing phase. While working with all this, we will be working in the servers. At the time of function spec, these are all what? Sandbox server or trial version servers. At the time you don't have any business data. When working in business data is only 10%. When you are in implementation phase. 10% of users data. You are working for a Dell company. So Dell has huge number of records, customers data. That's called the users data. The database we call it the name business data. For a Dell company, what is the business data? Customers data. So that there will be only 10% while working in the implementation phase. Who is accessing the Dell project? Employees, Dell employees. That employees information you will have only 10%. As you are a developer. You are a developer for a Dell project. For a Dell project, you are a developer. What type of data required? Data means like this. An account table, how many records I am displaying. This is what? This is a test data. You prepared and you inserted. This is a test data, what Kishore Kumar something. But it's not actual data, no? The actual data, the client will give to you. How much data they will give means? A business data 10%. 10% of users data. Users means the employees data. 1000 users will have 100 users. Records, business data. While working in the sandbox server, you won't have any data like this. When you are working in implementation phase, this data changes. So, and when sandbox server, this is sandbox server. Sandbox server. Every server is different with memory, different memory, business, data and business. How much memory they have. When you are working with the sandbox, then you less memory. So when you are working in sandbox, that's a trial version server. How much memory they given? 5 MB. That's it. When you go for development server, that is implementation server, more data they will give, more memory they will give for testing. There are 10 developers are there. 10 developers working on that Dell system, Dell project. There are 10 employees, 10 developer users, 10 developer users, and this it's a development server, development users, 10% of data there, very less. And go for testing server, only 20% there. The testing people, the test employees are there, they'll working with the test scripts. While working with the test scripts, business data will give 20%. While going to the production server, the actual, whatever objects you delivered, admin objects, development objects, all that they'll place in the production server where the actual employees are accessing. Everyone is accessing the same URL. Every user will access the same URL. While accessing the same URL, they'll place all their package. We'll create a package and we'll create a transport. Through transport concept in admin, we'll transport all my objects to production server. We transport all objects to production server. So in the production server, all objects are placed. Then once the implementation phase is done, so where you work for 3 months, as per requirements, we developer, they'll use an ID and password, and we deliver all objects with the minimum data, business data and users data. Then finally it goes to testing phase. Before going to production phase, we go for testing phase. It's called at staging phase also called as. In the staging phase, all business data is there. It's a staging phase with less business data and less users before going to production server. It checks all the client requirements in the testing phase, but with less data, with less users information, with less business data. Once all requirements are satisfied in the testing phase, then goes to the production phase. The production phase means actual users, actual end users. The actual end users employees are there, no? Delhi employees are 1000 employees are there. All 1000 employees are working with the production server. That should be very careful. While production server is working, all 1000 employees are accessing your server. We should see the security concepts, how it's working, all employees are accessing, what phases they are touching. At the time, if any issues comes, we'll go for maintenance phase. 1000 users are working on the same server. We'll have an issue with it. What issues we faced it in the maintenance phase? That all will come maintenance phase. If fields has to be modified, a new requirement new pages has to be developed. As per the requirement you are not delivered. Then we'll create a separate CL, change request. Then we'll create a CR. When you are working in the production phase, we'll check it out whether all 12 objects, whatever you designed, three objects you designed for admin development integration, all 12 objects are working. And we'll identify severity, high severity, low, medium severity like this. If number of users are having same problem in production phase, 1000 users are using the same server. If all out of 1000 only 200 minimum users are getting the same problem, then we'll make severity high severity. If only single user is facing any particular problem, like security is not unable to open that field, unable to see the field. The field is in read mode or write mode. Like that the fields has been different, security has been provided. Then we'll change the severity that we have to change the fields. That comes severities. As per the service level agreement, when a project is given to you, there will be a service level agreement will be there. What changes has to be done? That's called service level agreement. What is the client requirements? How you delivered it? That comes as a service level agreement. So a resource who works in the development server, sandbox server, production server, then we call it one full implementation cycle. The TL will be working from design phase to implementation, testing phase, production server. But when you are in below 5 years experience, 3 years experience, you will be working at implementation phase. We will take the client requirement, technical specs. The technical specs, TL has designed, will take the requirements, what pages has to be designed in admin, what objects has to be delivered, all that will take the requirements, we will compare that, we will deliver it within 3 months. After 3 months, we will move to another project. You will move to another project or you may be working in the maintenance phase. If all objects, 12 objects are delivered, and you have to work in the where? Maintenance phase. You have to work in the maintenance phase. Sometimes the team size will be 10, or sometimes team size will be 5. Your team size is 10 members are the SalesForce developers. The release one, they work as an admin. As a release one as an admin. So we have 10 objects are there. We have 10 objects are there. So we have 10 resources are there. So what happened? All objects are given. 3 objects for admin, 3 for development, 2 for integration, like that. The resources are available. The resources are available, so we'll distribute the resource for different modules. If we are having only 3 resources are available in the project, I need to start the project. Then how we'll do? First we'll complete admin. Then we'll, after once admin is done, same 3 resources will work for the development. Then we'll go for it. Like that, if less number of resources are there. If more resources are there, we'll make as a release. Release 1, release 2, release 3. In release 1, admin. So once admin release is done, the client will be using. The client is using, and the client's problem will have a maintenance phase. For release 1, admin release 1, maintenance phase. Next, development phase. Development phase, some other developers are working. Once it is worked, it goes to again the next phase. So we have the releases will be there. Release 1, release 2. If not, a single release will be there. If number of developers are there, we'll do in a single release. So you will be working in all different phases. Very highly skilled resource, you will be working in the, once cycle has been done, you won't work in the maintenance phase. You will go to another project. Another project where SalesForce requirement is there, in the same year in a company we have verticals and horizontals will be there. Verticals means you are technically good. Horizontals means model wise. Manufacturing horizontal, education model. That's in a dome. That's a specific to industry related. Industry related is called as a horizontal. So when you are placed in a verticals in a company in Wipro, TCS, Infosys, will have verticals will be there. When you selected for SalesForce means you will be in a vertical, SalesForce vertical. When project is done for insurance project, done, you will come back from the insurance domain. You will come back from insurance domain, again you will go to SalesForce vertical. Again a project banking project will come. Again from SalesForce vertical to banking horizontal will go. Once project is done, you will go to bench. From bench again you will come to where? Vertical. Like that, the company standards will first whenever project, when you are selected for company, you will go first where to project, you will go for bench. You won't directly assign to a project. You go to bench, check the some standards. After 1 week, we will assign some project. While assigning to project also, we will have again a technical round. First, every company will have technical rounds. At the same time, every project again a separate 2 rounds will be there when you are going to project. As per their project, the requirements are satisfied in your technical skills. They will check it again. If not, again you will go to bench. Again one more project will come. Again the other project also again interview will be there. Don't think this once you enter into the company you will get the project is done. Again every project will have separate interviews. Some people say please forward your resume and attend interviews. I used to get some calls, please attend interviews like this. No use. Once I attend the interview, you will be selected in the company. What happens to internal again while going to project? You go for Accenture or any IBM or Capgemini, every project will have a separate interview again. Once after 3 months or 6 months project is done, again a technical round will be there. In that project you might be working in admin. While going to another project, you have to work in the development time. There you worked in the admin skills. How far your development good you don't know. So again that company, that project people again they'll call in the development skills how they are good. They should be good in all the areas. And we may not knowing where you are working. When project starts, that means you'll be selected for first admin. When already admin project is done, and we don't find development resource, at the time we'll call the development page, Visual Force Effects. Sometimes the client, while going for interview, they'll ask whether you're having all the concepts, admin, development, integration. So you'll be available in the complete project for 9 months or 1 year. Admin is 3 months, development 3 months, and you work with integration also, you can make it 3 months. So total, in a single project, you work for 1 year, you can say. Otherwise, every 6 months, you have to change some project. Like that, while specifying in the resume in the projects, the project cycle, how many months, what is the duration, is it 6 months or 9 months? When you work for 6 months, you work for only for admin or development. If project you work for 12 months, that means you work with all the phases. You work with the technical specs, testing, production, all the phases you have to specify. Okay. Next what? The life cycle. But while applying for the resumes, you have to follow this preparation checklist. So once training is done, we are good up to 30 to 40%, you can say. 30 to 40. The remaining part, you have to go to the preparation. The workbooks and guides are there. Your number of workbooks and guides are there. Everyone has to read these workbooks. Go for developer.course.com. We have number of workbooks and guides. You have to read all these books. Library, workbook tutorials are there. So read these workbooks. Whatever you understood, go through all these workbooks. It's a course.com. It's a mobile workbook, Apex workbook. Whatever discussing concept, Apex work. You have to read this one. Visual Force workbook, integration, database, analytics. That's in how to deploy the product. Flow. This one a new one. Flow designer, security, service clouds. These all books have to read it. When you are applying for the jobs, you have to read these all books, preparation workbooks. There are some guides also we have. We have some guides. I'll place the guides also. I'll go this preparation guide. This preparation guide. Some entry questions. Admin into development into questions. And additional notes are there, the intro questions are there. In preparation guide. In this preparation guide, we have project works and guides are there. Number of project works, the HR equipment. So when you run an admin, you have to do this equipment project. There is a Visual Force guide and Apex guide. 1500 pages and 600 pages workbooks. Just read, turn the pages, what are the concepts available there. These workbooks and guides has to read, then go for the interviews. Otherwise, it makes it difficult for you. That's a preparation work. Once our module 1 is done, you have to read these workbooks and guides. Then go for resume. Until then, don't start working for the resume. Your number of resumes are there in the preparation guide. The resume formats are there. The resumes are there. SFDC resume, .NET resume, Java. So whichever project you want, you can place it, but you have done in as a SalesForce records. The roles and responsibilities are there, SFDC resumes. Now hundreds of resumes are there. Whichever resume you want, you can take it. Take the project, take the roles and responsibilities. Hundreds of resumes are there, we placed it, and you can use these resumes. So before going for resume preparation, first read the workbooks, read the guides also. Then only it will be very easy for you. Then apply for the resume. The soft skill is only 10%. When the new technology, when you go for new technology, soft skill is not important. Technical should be good. That's all. So whatever training is only 30. The remaining 30% is your preparation work. Whatever I discussed the programs, if you learn whatever discussed I program, it's sufficient to get the job very easy. And that's preparation is workbooks and guides has to follow. Experience, fake experience, how you prepare. Dummy resume or offer letter, relieving letters, that only remaining 30. To get the job, these all the options are there. So all these workbooks will get, you go for workbook tutorials, you can get it. And recruitment project, when you have done admin module, you have to do this recruitment. Once development module is done, you have to do Visual Force guide and Apex guide. Read that what are the options available in the Visual Force. Read all the options in Apex guide. You download to your mobile. When you are free, go through the guide. It's a PDF. It's in PDF file. This one. Download to your mobile. It's very less memory. When you are free, just turn the page. No problem. Just you understand what are the concepts available in the Visual Force, and at the time of project, when there is a requirement, you can go to that area and search it. Instead of doing all the concepts, you should know the concepts, what are the concepts available, where they are available, how we have to rectify them. Once you have done that, we should go for developer forums. Then see all developer forums and App Exchange. When you go for developer forums, so blogs, developer, community developer. We have to what all the real, some people say what are the real-time problems you are getting, how we are facing that one. Go for developer forums. We'll have a real-time problems, how you faced it, how you are executing all this. Apex related, Visual Force related problems. Discussion board, this or discussion boards. When you go to this, we'll have the what are real-time questions, problems, solutions are getting, how you faced it. When you do this all work, it's very easy to get the job. Once training is done, go for workbooks and tutorials. I said earlier, some people ask, sir, what workbooks I need to read? Don't read the workbooks, the starting. First complete our training. First complete the training. If you go through workbooks from starting, it makes it difficult for you. You cannot understand. Once training is done, you can turn the pages very easily. Since whatever topic is there in that workbooks, I made as a program for you. I made it programming, so you are good at technical now. And theoretically you should be now strong. So theoretically how will you become strong? By reading these books. Theoretical means not gunshot question and answer. How you understand that concept you have to explain. So when you go for interview, what you understood that they'll ask. So you have to explain that one. By reading that books only, you can understand the concepts. So each book, there are some 8 workbooks are there, 8 to 10 workbooks. Daily you can read one workbook. Each workbook has only 40-50 pages are there. Just turn the pages, you will have the concepts. Like that, 1 week you read all workbooks. 1 week you read all the guides. And then go through all the interview questions. What are the interview questions are there 1 week? And next 1 week, what are the real-time questions are. So within 1 month, you start working the completed. While going through all this interview question workbooks and guides, start preparing for the fake experience. if any experience is required. Then you apply for the jobs. Until then, don't apply. Once training is done, don't think that you can apply for the jobs. Not at all. Once training is done, not. First complete whatever programs, what we discussed, on your own you have to write the programs. Once training is done means you have to close the system. That's all. Today is the last class for development means you should not touch the system. You have to touch this workbooks and guides. The reading starts now. In exam time, that you go and practice that, just you revise the concepts. No? When exams reaches means you have to revise the concepts. Whatever you have done that you revise. Same here also. Once course is done means revision starts. How the revision starts? Read these books. By reading only revision starts. From the day when I said, when training starts means don't read any books. You just go through my concepts. After training is done, go through these workbooks and guides. Then only you can understand these books. Other books, if you read other books, it makes it difficult. First complete these books. SalesForce has given these workbooks. We didn't prepare these workbooks. SalesForce has given when you go for any interviews, when you go for project, these all books the SalesForce has given. Go for library. See, number of tutorials are given, workbooks are there, guides are given. You have to go through all this. When the project, at the time of project, when any doubts comes, where you will go? Who will ask you? You should go through these workbooks, webinar sessions, blogs are there. Go through all these sessions. Hundreds of books are there, video tutorials are there. For whichever topic you want, type, search, you will get an option. Any topic you want, search the option. They are given a video tutorial, they are given a documentation, interview question, everything it contains in the search operation. You think that once training is done, 30%, remaining 60% how I need to get by reading these books. Then start going for interview. While going for interview also, don't go with the actual resume. You prepare some dummy resume with the depending, apply for the jobs, attend for 3-4 interviews. What you are facing, what problems you are getting while attending 3-4 interviews. Where you are lacking. Once training has done, they are not able to give 6 lakhs package to you, no? I can use 6 lakhs package, but you should deliver the same pattern. Further, only once 1 month course training is done means you work for 1 month again same this preparation work, reading all these books and guides, developer forums, discussion, all this. Once done, apply for the jobs. While applying for the jobs, if any problems, they are asking any real time what type of projects you worked, how you have done deliver the project, that will come in the second module. That we say that second module. Some people will get the job on module 1. 90% will get jobs once you complete this admin and training concepts. 90% will get the jobs. Very rare they are asking in-depth concepts. Just to have a confidence, we started that module. Otherwise, not necessary. You go for interviews, and if you are fails there, if you fails, why you fails? Then you analyze this, then come to otherwise not at all necessary. This whatever concept I discussed, that is enough, and next step after 1 month. After 1 month, you start applying all the jobs by doing all these workbooks and guides. And interview questions are given, so there is a preparation drive is there. Get sharing to the preparation drive. It contains all the concepts, guides and workbooks, interview questions, all it contains. Some interview questions are there. Go through all these interview questions. You can go for certification also. You take sharing for this drive, preparation drive, then apply. Once you're done with the preparation drive, then only apply for the jobs. Until then, not at all required. Once stop the development, stop it. So you should be thorough with your whatever programs I discussed. Today last means shut up the system. Then open the program, open this documentation, read it. So you have a confidence. So these are all the concepts, advanced concepts are available. Tomorrow we'll start the admin. We start the admin module. 8 o'clock we'll start the admin module. We'll take break. The Eclipse configuration is the purpose is what? Offline programming. Without internet, I need to write the program. So we'll do that's how to configure. It just takes 40 minutes or less. So we'll do that. So offline programming, first have to install the Eclipse software. Before installing, so we should go for JRE, Java Runtime Engine, install JRE. SoftwareSkool ID, integrated development environment. So first install JRE, next install Eclipse software, and configure Eclipse with SalesForce. So we do all these steps. So not JDK. JDK is for developing Java programs. To write Java program, go for JDK. But here JRE is for Java Runtime Engine, where all devices contains what? The JRE. So first install JRE. How will get JRE? Go for JRE. JRE. Java Runtime Engine. JRE. Set 64-bit version. Install 64-bit JRE. Download. Start download. Open. Let's first install Java Runtime Engine. We'll install it. We are installing JRE. So when you want to execute any Java programs are converted into classes. To execute that classes, we go for JRE. Three billion devices are used. Billion means how many? Million means how many zeros? 6 zeros. Billion means 9 zeros. US format. US people what? 3, 6, 9, 12 like that. Million means 6 zeros, 10 lakhs. Billion means 9 zeros. 100 crores. 9 zeros. We India how will go? 3, 5, 7 like that will go. Lakh 5 zeros. Crore means crore కి ఎన్ని సున్నాలు ఉంటాయి? ₹1 సంపాదించాలి. ఎట్లా crore కి 8 zeros ఉంటాయా? ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి crore కి? 600. So, కోడ్కి ఎన్ని జీరోస్ ఉంటాయో తెలియదు. కోట్లు ఎట్లా సంపాదిస్తారు మీరు? రోజు కోట్లు అని వింటాంటారు. కోడ్ రూపీస్ ఎన్ని జీరోస్? 6, 7, 5 అయితే ల్యాక్ అయిపోయింది. 6, 7, 8. 7. Code 7 zeros. But we follow India format 3, 5, 7. US people 3, 6, 9. Then million, billion like this. At least at US number గుర్తులేదు, at India number గుర్తులేదు. బిలియన్ చెప్పలేదు, క్రోడ్ చెప్పలేదు. లాక్స్ అంతా ఫుల్ అయిన తర్వాత కోటి దగ్గర పోతారా? Then go for install Eclipse. So once jar is installed, so go for install Eclipse. For Eclipse, we require Eclipse software. You have to install. It's a Java related software. Only Java programs only we can do in Eclipse software. Eclipse. Download Eclipse. That's Eclipse ID for Java enterprises. Select it ID for Java. Windows let's download. Start download. So once Eclipse is done, then we'll go for configure. Since Eclipse can be done only Java related programs, they cannot understand Visual Code, C# or any Apex language. So you have to configure our SalesForce with an Eclipse so that you can write SalesForce programs. That is install H1. Then configure Eclipse with SalesForce. How to install JRE? Go to Google, search for JRE, install it. Then configure Eclipse with SalesForce. To configure Eclipse, we require a token number. We have to generate the token number. Eclipse is a Java related. I want to work with the SalesForce programs. So we have to generate a token number. This one? So once it is downloaded, go to that folder where it has been downloaded. Open folder. Downloads it is. So as it is in downloads, extract that file. Where it is downloaded? It is Java Luna. That's it. 24. Eclipse Java Kepler. So you select this file, extract it. Extract files in some particular folder. E folder. E, create a new folder. Yeah. I downloaded that and I have to install this one. I'm extracting files into Feb folder. So this is the first time you are installing software. Till now you didn't install, no? Everything if you want to write program through the browser, you write it. But here you are writing program on Eclipse where you don't require any internet connection. At the time of execution, then you require internet connection. When you want to write a program, you go for developer console. If there is no net, can you write any program? I cannot write a program. You require internet connection to configure to write any program. But here don't necessary. Go for a Feb folder, Eclipse, no, install it. It's an Eclipse software you are installing. Where you write a program without any internet connection, you write it. When you want to execute, then you deploy it. So when you open the Eclipse, it asks the workspace where all your programs has to store. Or Visual Force Effect programs should start before that all programs have to store in the desktop way in C folder. It says the workspace. Browse C folder users. Folder. In this folder I am saying all my programs. First download, then I want extract the files. Then Eclipse Java ID for that. So see here, I can write only, so open perspective. I can write which type of programs, only Java related, XML related, only Java XML related. I cannot do any SalesForce related. There is no force. Is there any force.com? It can understand only Java programs. So now I need to configure force.com with SalesForce API. Got it? I need to get force.com like this here, so that I can write the projects force. So file new, I'm getting all Java related projects. I need to create force.com projects. For that I need to configure. To configure, we require a token number, security token. How to generate security token? Go to our ID, whichever ID you are. In this ID, SFBC 730 user, security token I require. To configure our SalesForce, so whatever programs you have written in this ID, that all programs comes to your editor. Whatever programs you have developed all in developer console, that all programs comes to your Eclipse editor. And you can write programs. If you want to run a program in Eclipse, you should have some SalesForce ID. Which ID I have to use? Take this SalesForce. So now, token number. Go for setup. Security token. My settings. User my settings. Then personal. Reset my security token. Reset token number. SFDC. To this email ID, you will get the token number. Go to Gmail. To this, you will get a security token. So we generate token number by going to set up as an username, my settings, reset token number. So this email I will get the token number. Now I need to configure. Now, first JRE has been installed Eclipse. Now I need to configure the third step. For help, install a new software. Install new software. Add URL modes and you have to specify the path. All Force API comes here. But specify the path where Force API will get it. What Force API? Specify the path. To configure, we require this path. In this path, all our API contains. It contains our API. In this path, our API contains. Select this API. Okay. Select force.com. Next. So what happened? All Force API coming to the SalesForce. To the Eclipse software. Eclipse cannot understand what is Java. Eclipse can understand Java since it is developed in Java perspective. It cannot understand C# or Apex programs. For that Apex related API you are configuring with Eclipse software. That all API comes to your editor. And this editor has been installed in your desktop. This editor has been installed. Now while configuring, it's all API, SalesForce API. Accepting. Not directly. So once it installed Eclipse and we are configuring with, go for help menu. In the help menu we configure also. And this security token number is necessary while connecting to any project. If you want to write any project, by default we used to get file new Java project. As we configure now, we can create now Visual Force Apex programs also. Once install that, next. Once it has been configured, now change the perspective. And change the how to create a project. Find menu new project. Now edit the project. Give the username. This is the username review. Like this. 7.com. Give the token number. Whatever token number you generated, same token number I need to get while getting project. You need to restart Eclipse. Configure Eclipse with SalesForce requires token number. Go to username, my seconds. So username, my seconds. Token number we get. Go to this ID. 1, 2, 3, 4. And install Eclipse. Go to downloads, extract zip file. It gives the workspace. All the programs are stored. Go to configure and specify the workspace where all programs are stored in my E drive. You specify E drive or T drive, any drive. Now we write a programs. Only 3 steps: install JRE, install Eclipse, configure, then write a programs. So check it now. File, new. It's a Java part. This is all Java related. I want force. Change the perspective. It's a window. Show view. Open. Other. Force.com. It's a force.com perspective. Select this force.com. Then go for file, new. There. Earlier it was Java project. Now we are getting Force project. Give project name. Username SFDC 733@abc.com. Token number. Username means at that username whatever programs are written, all programs comes to your editor. All your Visual Force Apex programs come to your editor. In our workspace, whatever you are into that workspace you get. Pass the token number. Until you reset again, we can use the same token number. You can use any number of times this token number for SFDC 730 until you reset. After that, in the production developer edition, fetching organization detail means at that SFDC 730 the organization, whatever programs are written, all programs comes to. Apex, Visual Force, classes, triggers, pages, components, static, all the resource are max. We are accessing all this and then finish. Let's set a project. Project which contains all your Visual Force pages. This is a project which is configured to your SFTC 730T. We are getting all the pages. What are programs are written? VF command. Same Apex classes. Now just now written test classes. No? Test classes also. You can open any program and you can run it. Go to pages, open any program. What programs are written? GF command link. So that's command. Open this page. This is already developed in where in our SalesForce server. In the SalesForce server, we design this page. Corresponding class, AP command link. Go to source and that's classes are there. AP command link. Command link program. How to run this program? To run the program from where you have to run? VF. From VF only you have to run the program. VF page. Right click. Codes.com. Show in SalesForce. Show in SalesForce. It opens in the browser. It runs the program. Since I cannot run this an editor. Editor is to write the program. Sorry. To run, you should go to the browser. From browser only I have to run the programs. Show in SalesForce web. Click preview. Where I can run the programs. I'm running the programs. View, delete. Program command links program written where deleting, updating, viewing. For the whatever again where city equal Hyderabad element, but in a program somewhere we change city Hyderabad something. So it's not different like that. Updating like that. This is where you are executing the existing programs. I want to write my own program now. I want to write my own program, a Visual Force program, where I want to display the records. I want to write a program to display the list of records. I want to display a list of records. I will write the pages, right click, a new VF page. I want to write a program to write a VF program. Open VF test. Write a program. you don't find intelligence here. If you remember all that. In editor force.com developer control you get, here you won't get it. You have to write your own. Test. Apex. Wow. And the tag is coming. To get this API, we have some jar files are there. Can you add some jar files? The next Apex page block. In page block section, I want to display the records. Apex colon page block section. I want to display the records. So Apex colon page block table. Page block table requires a value. Now to display the records. The record Apex colon. ID name. Or displaying the records. Next, what happened? You require controller. This program where it's saved? In my desktop it is saved, not in Apex program, not in a SalesForce server. Whatever you save the program, it is existing in my D drive. In a D drive it is saved. It's not existing in my server. Now I require saying Apex class. New Apex class. Not AP. Test. Alright, in a click test. I want to retrieve the list of records. How to retrieve list of records? Go for public. Just class name. Okay. STP. I require list of records. That's public. List of account. Direct. Check and get. Direct equal to select query and list of records are mentioned. So I written a class or written a SalesForce page. So extension is page and here extension CLS. In developer console, what is SalesForce extension? .vfp. .vfp is an extension, right? Now I need to run this. To run this, first what I have to do? And to deploy this. And it deploy in where? In SalesForce server. This program is now in where it is existing in my desktop. I need to upload into server. For that, so first I need to upload class or SalesForce page. Does that Apex class require anything? Why don't require any VF page? So first deploy Apex classes. While deploying Visual Force page, it will ask where is an class. It throws an error. While deploying Visual Force page, first deploy what? Apex classes. So go to Apex classes, right click, force.com, deploy to server. And deploying my Apex class onto the server, onto SalesForce server. Deploy. Username, onto which server? So you have to enter all this. Developer console not necessary, no? It's directly you're writing program there. So while writing program, here we don't require any internet connection. It's an offline program. When you are deploying time, you only require internet connection. Right click, force.com, deploy. Subdivision, 722, token number available. Take the token number for deployment for the first time only. Not every time, not necessary. Only for the first time deployment only require token number. Specify the directory. E drive is specified this. RQ files. Okay. I deployed which one? Apex class. Next. Class has been deployed. Next thing, VF page. Like we do in Java, same this pattern. Go for Java page, deploy into server, SalesForce server. Right click, force.com, deploy to server. My box 1, 2, 3, 4. Security token. Next. While deploying, it throws my error. I finish. I need to run the program. Deployment of Apex Visual Force. Now I need to run. How to run? Right here. Force.com. Showing SalesForce. Create a quick test. Select this name. Preview. Exceeds my advances. There are more records are there. We are displaying them. More records are displayed. So what I have to do? How to decrease the size? Put Apex class from account. Select limit of 25. 25 records out. Save it. Once save it, does it affect it there? Once save it, where you saved it here? Desktop. I need save onto where? Server. For that I want to do right click, force.com, save to server. First time what will do? Deploy. Next time onwards what will do? Save to server. Since this program is in where? In the desktop. Go to save to server. SalesForce server somewhere is there. There I need to upload the program to run it. Next. Go to this program, refresh. Error. What error? Created date URL. In my Visual Force page, I am displaying what? Created date. But I am not active. Again I should write what? Building city, comma, created date. Again what I have to do? Right here. Let's save here. Our control S means it saves here. Now save to server. Save to server. Next, go to edit browser and refresh. We get the list of records. This is a server where you write display the Eclipse VF program on this an Eclipse Apex class or display. Similarly, I don't want billing second created it. If I remove here, when I click save, it affects here. Since I am being in the server, in the SalesForce server, directly I am writing program. See, when you save here, I can save onto the server. So here we require internet connection. So I saved onto where in the server I removed some 2 columns. When you remove this, does it affect in Eclipse? Eclipse is our standalone system. In standalone system you save that your programs. I can go to Eclipse. It's not affected. I cannot refresh. Refresh when it comes, when it's a browser. For browser I cannot refresh. Here what I can refresh here? It's an editor now, we cannot refresh anything. I want to get the server program here. I want server program here. Then what will do? Right click, codes.com, refresh from server. Go for refresh from server. The code changes. If you add any code here, now again save it. When you refresh, why it's not coming 2 columns? Why 2 columns are not coming? Save to server. So at the time codes.com, save to server. So whenever you want to do changes, for the first time you deploy it. For the first time, once it's configured, see here, install Eclipse, configuring. So to install JRE, go to this drive, Google search here. Go for Google search. Next thing, to configure we require token number. Go to username, password. My settings will get a token number. This token number changes. When you release it, you have to use the same token. Then Eclipse ID for Java developers. Basic Eclipse you take it. Now configure, install new software. Give the name and give the location. And change the perspective, whichever perspective you want. Change the name, the project name, the password and token number. How to run existing projects. So open any existing project. Right click, show in SalesForce web. Open November project, SRC pages, SalesForce VFS program. Any program you open it. Right click on VF page, show in SalesForce web. If already existing program is there, to run it, right click force.com, show SalesForce. I want to create new pages. How to create VF pages? So go for any project, John project or Swift project. Research pages, new VF pages. I want to retrieve a list of records. So where it's API tools. Apex class, a list of records I am retrieving. First we have to deploy what? Apex class. Deploy the Apex class. Since Apex class does not require any pages, that's in a business logic. It's in a business logic. First deploy, right click on Apex classes, deploy the server. Think run VF page, go to VF page, show in SalesForce. Here save to server is there. Whenever I do any changes, so right click, force.com, save to server. It affects in where the server. If I go to server, I do changes there. Here I do changes. So when I do in Eclipse programs, we don't require any internet connection. We can deploy into server direct. And if I do changes in the server, it should affect in Visual Force. And I should say in my page, refresh from server. And this, the advantage of Eclipse is we can do CVS and concurrent versioning system. Concurrent versioning system is implemented. The advantage of Eclipse is concurrent versioning system. Why concurrent versioning? Multiple developers are working on the same program. Then how you have to do? So like program 1. So once a developer comes, you write a program 1, create date and time, status, next. I have written a program. I'll upload into the concurrent versioning system. That means there is a server is there, common server, all programs are existing there. Once I write a program 1 with version 1, grade, date and time, status, it's a developer 1. Write a program with program 100 lines and saves onto CVS, concurrent versioning system. It creates an activity version 1 by closing it. Once it closes it creates an activity. Okay, now I am a developer 1, I have written a program 1 with 100 lines of program. And you want access the same program. Developer 2 gets a program from CVS with P1 100 lines with version 1. You are accessing that 100 lines. And if P1 is closed, it's in a closed mode. When it's a closed mode, then only others can access it. Once I close it, then only you can access it. Otherwise, it gives an error. Already it's opened by developer 1. I written a program, 100 line program. You want to access it. Once I close it, you can go to that server. You can access it. Now edit program a P1 with 200 lines and close with version 2. So another developer, he opened the same P1 program and he has done with 200 lines with version 2. And tomorrow again I come back. Tomorrow when I come back, what is my program? P1 program, how many lines it contains? 100 lines. I written 100 lines program, I uploaded onto server. What you have done means you downloaded that program and you changed it. And you uploaded it into server. But for me, it is 100 lines only. So what I have to do, whenever I want to do changes, first what I have to do, first I have to refresh from the server. The developer wants to edit program first, I refresh from CVS system. Developer will have program with 200 lines and close with version 3. So now I change it to version 3. I change some program. Again, what you have to do? You also have to refresh from server. You have to refresh from server and do some programs. Like that, this is called concurrent versioning systems can be maintained in Eclipse. This very rarely will use this. And go for Java programmers, they'll do this CVS concurrent system. 10 developers are working on the same project. Then require the CVS system. So all programmers are working in the same. The advantage here is after 1 month back, after 1 month, I want the previous program which has done in the January. That program you want, you can access it. Then you can access the 1 month back program. I can roll back my program to 1 month back. Currently I am version 24. Like that 24 versions has been done. And manager said that your programs are wrong. Go to version 1, it's working fine. So I can roll back to version 1. So all programs are maintained backup. All programs are maintained backup. That is maintaining a backup is done by concurrent versioning system. Okay. So first, developer 1 has written a program. That means you have to configure our Eclipse with CVS. That's a separate administrator will be there who will configure that CVS systems. We will take an ID and password and we'll save onto server. When you save onto server means now it won't save onto server. It save first onto CVS system, then it goes to SalesForce server. Now my programs are saved in where? In a separate external server. First program I written underlines. I'll save into CVS system, then goes to SalesForce server. Developer 2 comes. He will access from the CVS server with underlines code. Then I'll update it. Then again I'll refresh from server instead of underlines, I'll take steps. So like that, when you want to write any programs, you have to refresh from server, then you write the program. The advantage is to roll back to previous versions from go to CVS server. So once you roll back to version 1, all developers will refresh from the servers. So when user 1 starts editing the document, when I am editing the document, he has to check out. That's called edit mode. When I check in means it is closed. Check in means what? Closed. Check in means closed. And if you want to write any program, you have to check out. That means you have to be checkout mode means it's in edit mode. Checkout is edit mode. First I have written a program. So when I have written model, I go for check-in. Check-in means close. Once it is close mode, another developer wants to write a program means you should go for checkout. Once you check out, it's in a edit mode. That other developer will write program. Once he save the program, a new version is created. Version 2 is created with 200 lines code. Again what I have to do? Again same, I'll check out. Before checkout, first I have to refresh from server, I check out and write a code. When I check in, a new version is created. Like that we do in Eclipse. The purpose of Eclipse is a testing is easy here. A testing process is here. So we return test classes here, no? Test TCL2 class. Is it? We'll go for run. Run test. I'm running the test. You can see this code coverage results. We have seen the code coverage in developer console. In the previous version, we don't have code coverage in developer console. We used to go for Eclipse only. In testing phase, developer console, we have seen the code coverage 100%. Same here, code coverage, test trigger 1, 100% code coverage. And test app, it's an 100% code coverage. Since in test app, what I have done, it's calling which method? M1 method. When it's calling M1 method, test app, in M1 method, comment this one, save it to server. Earlier test app was 100% code. Since when I create an object, it's calling a constructor, it's creating an object also. Now when you run test class, and go for test, right click, course.com, run test, course.com, run test. See the code coverage now. Test app is 31% code coverage. And show you text test window. Test AP class 31%. How many lines are executed? Earlier, we used to, just 1 year back, we used to test the code coverage in Eclipse. In developer console, there is no option. We should go to the setup mode. Through setup mode, we have seen now. We have seen that how to run the program. Test execution. From here, we need to test either Eclipse or test. We don't have an option in the developer console. Now, developer console are enhanced. We are running testing there, but here we cannot. So now we can do the testing, and CVS can be maintained offline program. These three options for that we go for Eclipse. Offline programming without internet connection to that. Debugging, also this here. As more versions has been changed in developer console, now currently we are doing more in developer console. In 2013, 14 also we used to do in Eclipse. We used to write the programs and we deploy manually. Course.com applied and goes to server, then you can execute the programs. Okay. Let's see where the errors are already coming. Space. Then created it. Let's start. Program it, wait editor, start show in SalesForce. Open any test class. What are the classes? So written here it comes. Course.com. Run test. Run test. Any doubts here? Test. We call this one CVS. CVS is nothing but concurrent versioning system. For concurrent versioning system, we have separate servers, CVS servers. We have to configure. Eclipse has to configure the servers. It's very difficult to configure. It's expensive servers. These are all. That means for every program, you have to take a backup. Once you do changes, a new file has been created. And at the same time, you have to save all your programs. A developer has saved with 10 programs. Save it. Again, developer has done 10 programs. Left, I want to roll back to some first program. Go back there. Go to that program and should come back. Let's call it rollback to previous versions informed to CVS server. So he is maintaining all that. Once he roll back, he'll goes to the first version of the program. I can execute in the product with the version. Go to test class, the test class, you are test. Now it's our, since M1 method is commented, it's now code coverage only 30%. Yes. M1 method, method, code coverage is 30%. If all code is executed, it goes to 100% code coverage. Done? That's what tips. Any doubts? So, as what we discussed in this preparation checklist, good preparation checklist, practice all, go through the workbooks and guides. This LifeCycle management. Okay. First complete all our programs, practice all my programs. On your own you have to type the programs. Then read the books. Whatever programs you discuss, all the programs on your own you type it, analyze it and do it. Then read the books, then prepare the action. Okay? And tomorrow at 8 o'clock we will start that main part. First we'll take 1.5 hour class. Okay, then we'll go for 9:30 to 11. Check it whether 7 to 10 or 8 to 11. Which, huh? Which time suits? First This 3 days we'll see 8 to 9:30. Then I'll check it how it works for you. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. Any doubts? Huh? ఇక్కడ